Bienvenidos, Fright fans, and welcome to the horror show. I'm Jaime En Fuego here at the Game On Expo 2017, sweating it out here in the desert of Phoenix, Arizona, but having the pleasure to talk to operatic extraordinaire, voice actor, a woman of many talents, Ms. McLain. How are you?
I am fine, Fuego, and I'm so pleased to be here.
Excellent. So, impressions of the convention thus far? I would imagine you do a lot of these, like traveling around the country and whatnot?
Yes, and everyone is so wonderfully friendly. I'm here. My husband, John Patrick Lowry, is here. And Phoenix is a beautiful city, and thank goodness there's air conditioning.
I'm going to get right to it in the fact that first-person shooter aficionados absolutely adore the Portal series 1 and 2, obviously, which you were involved with. It's GLaDOS, if I remember correctly, where you were almost like this sarcastic, antagonistic, just computer AI presence that was just thwarting the player throughout the entirety of the gameplay and whatnot. And as I was getting reacquainted with some of your amusing phrases on there, the verdict is in and you're a terrible person.
Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
And then people with guilty consciences, they get scared by loud noises more easily and things like that.
Did you know that people with guilty consciences are more easily startled by loud noises? I'm sorry, I don't know why that went off. Anyway, just an interesting science fact.
How much did they coach you in the process, or did you really get to make the character your own a little bit more?
Well, for Portal, I was supposed to sound like a computer-generated voice. So they would actually play a computer-generated voice for me, and I copied that sound. But, my husband John likes to say that I play a passive-aggressive, homicidal computer, and of course the passive aggression comes naturally to me. So
really now?
Yeah, so that's totally me. But it was, the writers, Eric Wolpaw and Jay Pinkerton and Chet Falasek. So, I said those words, their words. So those gentlemen wrote a great game.
Excellent. And then you also did the closing credit singing on both of the games, correct? Because
yes.
of your operatic talents. And that's what your talents would originally be considered, because you were raised in Nashville, correct? Which is Music City and all. And
yeah, but I went to school for opera. My bachelor's degree and graduate degree are in music, specializing in opera. But I was very fortunate. I told the people at Valve that I was a singer. They had never heard me sing, and they just took it on faith, and they got Jonathan Colton to write Still Alive. And none of them heard me sing until I sang Still Alive in the studio. And then luckily I got to do Want You Gone, and then for Lego Dimensions I got to do another Jonathan Colton song, You Wouldn't Know. And then of course I got to sing the Toro opera that Mike Moraski wrote.
I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me.
is opera something that you still have the opportunity to pursue? Do you do anything like on stage or anything of that nature? Or is it just in studios working with games and other projects?
I have to fly back to Seattle tonight because I'm doing a production of Tracy Lett's Pulitzer Prize-winning play, August Osage County, in Olympia, Washington, and we open on August 23rd. So I'm still working on stage.
Exciting. So us being a horror show of sorts, we have to bring up the fact that you also voice the computers in the Jaegers
Yes.
in Pacific Rim, and I'm assuming you're going to be returning for the sequel that's coming out next year as well? Or
Well, I'm not allowed to say anything, but Pacific Rim 2 is in production right now, and I loved voicing Gypsy Danger, and I loved working with Guillermo del Toro. I think del Toro is a genius, and I was so lucky to get to work with him.
right before we got on camera, you brought up this project here, which is The Church in the Darkness. It's a new
Yes.
game. Can you give us a little information about this? The title is intriguing for horror fans, I would imagine.
Well, it's from Paranoid Productions, and it's going to be released in 2018. The Church in the Darkness. I play Rebecca Walker, and my husband, John Patrick Lowry, plays Isaac Walker, and we run a cult in South America. And it's a top-down infiltration game. It's procedurally generated, so every time you play the game, it's different. And you have to come down to South America and rescue your nephew. And every time you play the game, you also get a different song at the end, 5 of which were written by my husband.
And so you get to sing those, I would imagine? Excellent. Very cool. It sounds kind of like it has a Jonestown vibe to it, at least a little bit.
Well, it is set in the 1970s, so it is that flavor.
So I'm not sure if you are a fan of any scary movies or any horror films or anything of that nature. Is there one in particular that you have seen that really just left an impression, or?
Well, I thought Rosemary's Baby was terrifying, and I was too scared to watch all of The Shining with Jack Nicholson. I have seen part of it, but then I have to turn it off.
Yeah, that's one that disturbed a great many people, I would imagine. And Ms. McLain, do you have a bit of social media or something that people can refer to get some more information about your work and the projects you're involved with right now?
Well, I have a website, ellenmclain.net, and I have a Facebook fan page, Ellen McLain, the voice of GLaDOS. And, you know, I'm doing this play, and John's actually going to be back. John Patrick Lowry's going to be back in town doing a production of Man of La Mancha in January at the Herberger Center.
Wow, so back here in Phoenix. Very nice. Excellent. Will you be accompanying him then for that? Or?
Yes, I will, because I'm his wife.
And he's a voice actor as well, from what I read. So excellent. Well, you're obviously a power couple of fantastic voices, and thanks so very much for taking the time to speak with us here at the Horror Show today. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Fuego. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
All right, gracias once again, and there's going to be tons more fun coverage coming at you guys from here at the Game On Expo in Phoenix. So until more of that arrives, stay scared.